I talk to you about a culture of dependence and the immiserising effects of that, I think you might know what I mean. I don't think anyone's suggesting that Tassie's in the same situation, tragically, as our Indigenous brothers and sisters are, but you want to be careful. That's the type of thing that it breeds. And the nasty part is that the mainlanders are happy to write you a cheque and to leave you to yourselves. Just don't change anything for us. That's not a deal you want to accept. That's a Faustian bargain if ever there was one. You need self-respect, self-determination, strong communities, and with that will come your strong economy. In fact, that's my point to you this morning. You heard Jonathan talk about the link between this culture of dependency and economic dysfunction. And as I heard Jonathan, he wasn't just talking about dependency by people who are on welfare, he was talking about businesses that have fallen into this culture of entitlement and dependency. Oh, excuse me, I don't want any competition. Pardon me, I've got this little niche, please protect my income stream. There's very little difference between that and somebody who says, I just get a cheque written by the Department of Social Services every month and I don't need to be involved. I don't need to be involved in the community, let alone involved in the workforce, because the cheque turns up every month, come hell or high water. And if the same thing has happened to business, you've got a problem. Noel talked about the link between economic weakness, joblessness in particular, and social dysfunction. I'm an economist. Economists are often accused of ignoring the social context within which we talk about economics, and sometimes that accusation is accurate. I'm here today not to give you a talk about the Tasmanian economy. No. To point out to you that if you really want to get a grip on living standards and quality of life for your communities here in Tasmania, you need to break into what is at the moment a vicious circle of economic weakness, social dysfunction, dependency and economic dysfunction. You need to break into that vicious circle and make it a virtuous circle. And as an economist, I'd say, well, you can break into that circle economically, which is what Jonathan said. He's saying technically, this actually isn't a very hard problem to solve. If you want more jobs and you want a bit more investment, we can do some things to help that come along. We can find ways of infusing, if you like, or giving you a blood transfusion of one form or another, and produce that outcome. But notice that Jonathan, who's an economist as well, he didn't start there. He started with communities. And that's where I break into the circle as well. You can turn that vicious circle into a virtuous circle by beginning with your community building.